Hello children, welcome to English class. In our previous classes, already we have completed 2 lessons and 1 poem. In our last class, I have completed the first poem to a pair of Saurus cranes. Hope you have understood and already you have written question answers of all these lessons and poem. If you have not understood, try to listen to the video, otherwise you can ask me also. And today we will learn the next poem, that is Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher, written by Abraham Lincoln. Children, before moving to this poem, let me tell you about Abraham Lincoln. Who is Abraham Lincoln here? He was the 16th President of America. Remember, he was the 16th President of America. He struggled hard to get the knowledge. He knows the pain of how to acquire knowledge, how to get the knowledge. He speaks, he says, what he says about the knowledge that he is getting and how his parents struggled to lead their life. He goes on in this poem, he speaks the reality of his life and the way he experienced in his life, that only he writes here. What is read by the title of this poem we can understand. He writes a letter to a teacher who is teaching for his son. What he writes? He knows the pain also, he knows the suffering also, he knows unhappiness and sadness also. And he knows the opposite of all these things also, because he was the president of America. When he was the president of America, and he earned money and he became a rich. But he did not forget how he spent his childhood. Because his parents, they were not so rich, they were very poor. And this man, and how he struggled hard to go to school, how he struggled hard to speak with the teachers. He knows all the sufferings, he knows all the pains, but he wants his son to learn the good manners. Even in our day-to-day life, the parents, they don't want their children to spoil their life. They want them to get a good position in this society. Even Abraham Lincoln, he too expected the same thing for his son. What he expects, what he says, let me tell you a brief sketch of this poem. Children, he says, there are many corrupted politicians. Okay? There are many corrupted politicians. Among these corrupted, definitely there will be one dedicated leader. There will be one dedicated leader. Why he says this? He wants his teacher to tell among the corrupted politicians, definitely there will be one dedicated politician will be there. Politician leader will be there. Teach my son. Why he is requesting? Because his son, everybody will respect him because he is the son of a president. Everybody will respect and they take separate care of this boy. But Abraham Lincoln, he doesn't want that. He wants all the teachers to take care of his son like how the teachers are taking other children also. It means equality. Okay, children? Here, he speaks about the equality. Why equality? He knows in Africa, already in ninth standard, you have studied one poem, that is Africa. In that Africa, there was a discrimination between whites and blacks. Abraham Lincoln and Nelson Mandela, they both fought and they got the freedom. They tried to get the freedom from the Americans for African people. So even Abraham, there is a contribution of Abraham Lincoln also. Slavery of blacks. So he opposed, Abraham Lincoln opposed the slavery of blacks. So he doesn't want that. The slaves, how the slaves were treated in America, everything he knows. Abraham Lincoln, he knows. He knows the suffering pain of the people. But he doesn't want to experience the same thing how the blacks suffered for his son, but there should be a equality in the school. He asks, he tells the teacher what he tells about the equality. How you are observing the other children, the same like that you have to see my child also, you have to see my son also like other children. First thing, and second thing, in the corrupted leaders or politicians, there will be a dedicated leaders. These 2 points he speaks. And what is the third point he speaks here? He says, when we earn money, so he's a president, he earns money and he gets lot of money, and definitely he can take care of his son also, and he can give more money also to his son. But when we earn money with a lot of sweat, when we earn money with sweat, that stays with us forever, that gives us more happiness forever. He says that. What does it mean, children, here? It means that we have to earn money by taking lot of efforts. Okay, what's the third point here? Earn money with lot of effort. With effort. I can write with effort also. Only with effort. Simply money doesn't come. We have to work hard for that. Teach my son how to earn money with difficulty. How the difficulty is earning money. Teach my son, he says. Then, what does he say? He just says, all men here, my children, some children are good and some children are bad. It is not that all children are bad. It depends on how we see the children, how we introspect us. Okay, it totally depends on us. Sometimes a person who is good to us, definitely he is bad to others also. Yes, what he says, good and bad. He speaks about good and bad. Where there are bad children, definitely there will be a good child. And Abraham Lincoln, he expects among the bad children, he wants him to be a good. He expects this. And he says, what he says, people winning and losing. Winning and losing, it is quite common. When we win, definitely we will become happy. When we lose the games, that time what will happen? We feel something bad. So we don't want to lose any games. But when we lose and when we win, we have to take them equally. You have to take them equally in our life. That one, teach my son, he says. Then he wants his son some things. Some easily will get the things. So usually for children, what do we do? Whatever they ask, very fast, very soon, very soon we'll give them whatever they ask, whatever the child asks us. I want chocolate or I want doll, this, that, whatever might be. If they ask what we'll do, we will get them. We'll get them. But easy to please. They will please that time. Oh, my father, my mother, they gave me this thing. They feel very happy. But earning the money we give for that toy, the sweat will be there, no children, that only father knows. Only father knows about all those things. How he works hard. He's the only person who can understand us better, who can understand very well. He knows it well. But child, when he gets easily, he will get pleased. But what he says, if we get the things from our father, if we do not get the things from our father, we have to see it equally. That he says, teach my son. If you get the things easily, please. If you do not get the things from your father, don't get upset. Don't get upset, but take it easy way. That one he says. And he speaks about uh, the failures and strength of a man. Strength, physical strength, I'm saying here, physical strength, we'll get it when we eat nicely. So we'll get physical strength. And also he speaks not to follow the crowd and filter that all the hears with the filter of the truth. He wants the teacher to teach his son that one can laugh when one is sad, yet there is no shame in tears. Yes. What it says, no children? When somebody is sad, is it a way that we have to laugh in front of a person, in front of the sad person? It's a wrong. There is nothing wrong when we tear, when we get the tears. So our friends' tears are equal to us also. We should not laugh. We should not make fun on crying person. Teach my son not to make a fun on a sad man or a crying person, he says. He asked the teacher to teach his son to sell his skills and talents to the highest bidder, but also ensure that he never trades his soul for a price tag. What he says? Use his talent, to use his skills. When somebody comes to us, he may or she may ask us to teach this, to tell me that what is the answer for such question. They may ask us. But what we have to do if we know the things, how to solve the problems, and when those people come to us, we have to teach them or not, children here. We have to say something. Is it that we have to insult them? No, we should not insult those people. Okay? We should not insult them. We have to use our skill. We have to use our strength to teach them. So, what he says, what Abraham Lincoln says to his teacher, teach my son, teach my son how to use skills, how to use his talent for others' sake, not to insult others. That he says. And after again he says, to fight for the right thing. Children, fight for the right thing. Unnecessarily we should not argue. Okay? Fight for the right thing. If we feel, fight for the right thing. Okay? We feel, I am right person. I am telling the truth. I am right person and I am telling the truth. If we feel when the others are wrong, we can fight with them. Fighting means it is not fighting with hands or fighting with sticks, orally, with words, that too politely, not harshly. Politely we have to speak with others. That is my son, Teach my son how to be polite with others. Teach my son how to fight for the right thing, that he says. Then teach him about the labor work and hard work. About that he says. And he says the most important thing is jealousy. When others are uh, good in studies, if they have more money, and if they are dressing well, and if they have a good talent, so we should not have a jealous on them. We should not feel proud also. It is their life, it is our life. But avoid jealousy. Okay, what is it? To avoid jealousy. He requests his son's teacher, teach my son to avoid jealousy. Okay, he should not have any jealous. And also secret of laughter, quiet laughter, small laughing smile, we say, no. Whatever others say, we have to accept it. We have to accept the suggestions by others. That one, that also Abraham Lincoln speaks. He wants his son to be what no interest in reading the books. Children, books, interest, interest in reading the books. He wants his teacher, he wants his teacher, his son's teacher, to teach him how to take interest in reading the books. Books are wonderful things in our life. Books, they give us lot of knowledge. Teach my son how to take interest in reading the books, that he asks. And value of time, children, very important, that is value of time. We have to give value for the time. Why we have to give value for the time? In time and on time. If your school starts at 9:30, you have to be in the school at 9:30, but not at 10 o'clock. Otherwise, at least on time or in time, before time or after the time. On time means exact time. On time means exact time, exactly at 9:30. Why we have to give importance for the time? It shows, when you give the importance for the time, it shows your behavior. It shows your character. When you are giving importance, because others will be waiting for you, know, children. We should not make others to wait. It's a bad manners. So we have to give importance. And he says, teach my son how to value the time. He is a son of a president. It is not that he can come at any time to the school. No. What is the time of the school? That time only he has to enter the school. Teach my son, he says. Then how to honor others. He says, respecting others. We have to respect others. Teach my son to respect others, not to cheat others. Cheating others, it's a crime. Okay, children? Cheating. Cheating others is a crime here. Who is cheating here? In our cheating others is a crime. When we cheat others to get money or to get name or to get fame, whatever, when we cheat others, it's a big crime. Teach my son to respect others and not to cheat others, he says. And also, he asked his son's teacher to learn good manners and to have faith in others. Children, faith. What do you mean by faith here? Believing. Faith is a believing. Have a faith. Believe in others. that he says here. When it's sad, so he speaks, he goes on telling about honoring others, speaking truth, and respecting others, and giving more value for the time. All the things, seeing him equally. All the things he asks his son's teacher to teach all those things to my son. When we read the poem, we learn more about all such things. Children, here you learn how Abraham Lincoln has written a very wonderful letter to his son's teacher when you read a poem. Children, this is a brief sketch. This is a brief sketch of this poem. Now, I will go on reading the poem written by Abraham Lincoln. Children, now all of you open page number 92. Poem number 2, Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. Children, remember why this poem is there for you. I will tell you. Every parents, all parents expect their children to learn good things. They want them to respect others. They want them not to cheat others. They want them. They want them to get a good name in this society. And why such poems are there for your studies? To learn how the Abraham Lincoln is writing a letter to his son's teacher. That is a letter for of all the parents to their children's teachers, according to my expectation, according to my view, I can say. He says, he says, though we are, why the uniforms are there in this school, children? Uniforms are there to treat all are equal. So all are equal, so uniforms are there for you people. So when you come to school or when you go to college, some children are financially good and some children are not so good. A person who is good financially, he can purchase good quality dresses. But a person who is not, he cannot purchase. But what will happen there? Again, there will be a discrimination between financially good student and not so good student. So to avoid such things, we have. So what we have? Uniforms we have. Even nowadays for the teachers also they have uniforms. Whenever if you go to any colleges, even for professors we have uniforms. Teachers we have uniforms. So to avoid the discrimination. Though such things are there in our society, but again there is a discrimination between some people. It should not happen. It should not happen in our society. Children, let me read the poem. I will read now. Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. Your parents have very carefully chosen a school for you. What do you think? Are there expectations from their schools? Discuss in pace. Yes, every parent's dream. What is every parent's dream? They want their children to learn good things. Already I said. They want them to learn good behavior. From whom they have to learn all such things? Yes, from the teachers. When the teacher teaches them a good manners, because children will learn and children will listen only to the teacher. Small child, if you go to small kids school, first standard or second standard child, you ask them any rhyme, and if the child is saying different pronunciation rhyme, and they will say, my teacher taught me like this only, child will say. But actually there is nothing wrong in teacher. But what happened, when they will pronounce the words, the child will take it a wrong pronunciation of the word. Okay, hope you're understanding. The child will take the wrong pronunciation of the word and the child will pronounce it. The child pronounce it wrong and they will say, my teacher has taught me like this only, he will say. But so we have to listen. We will listen to the teachers. That's why you have a moral science. So one more is the value education. It's the value education, a very wonderful subject. What is the value? What are the values in our society? That also you can learn. Especially for small children, value education is there. How to be with elders. What is the first aid? How we have to take care of the grannies or grandpas. Such things we learn. But Abraham Lincoln, though he was the president, but he doesn't want his son. He doesn't want his son to go to school in a pomp and show. Normal child, how a normal child goes to a school. Same, like him only, he wants him to do. He wants him to learn in the school. He says, children, let me read the poem. He will have to learn, I know, that all men are not just, all men are not true. All men are not just means honest and morally correct. Yes. He will have to learn. Who is he here? He will have to learn. He refers to whom here? Son of Abraham Lincoln. He will have to learn. He will have to learn. Who is he here? Son of Abraham Lincoln. Just I will write AL. He will have to learn, I know. I know what I know. Here I refers to what? I know. I refers to Abraham Lincoln. That all men are not just, all men are not true. Yes. In this word, it's a mixture of people. All the people are not so honest. All the people, they don't speak truth. There's a mixture of people. All men, I know that all men are not just, all men are not true. All the people here are, they are not so truth, they don't speak truth, and all the people, they are not, what we can say, honest or morally correct people. But teach him also that for every scoundrel, there is a hero. Yes. If the bad people are there, definitely there will be one person. A good person definitely will be there, he says. What he says, for every scoundrel, there is a hero. When there are not honest people, when there are not truth spoken people are not there, okay, he doesn't speak truth, he doesn't speak truth. Many people will be there, okay, but definitely there will be one good person. Teach my son that for every selfish politician there is a dedicated leader. Selfish, corrupted. In politics field, if you go to politics field, all the we can't say that all the politicians are good. Okay, we can't say all such things. The politicians are also corrupted. Nowadays we can see every day in the news channel they speak about the politicians' life, how those people are. So we can see that. But in such people, such politicians are there. But in those politicians, but definitely there will be one good politician, a person, our dedicated leader. Okay, children. Among among corrupted politicians, definitely there will be a dedicated leader. He speaks. What he speaks in his 7 lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In these 7 lines, what he says? Among the corrupted politicians, definitely there will be a good politician or a dedicated leader. And among the people those who are not honest, the people those who are not so good, in those definitely there will be a one hero. It means that a good person definitely we can find. So this one, in this 7 lines, he says, children, here we will stop this poem, and today's homework is write a brief description about Abraham Lincoln. Write about, children, first you get the picture of Abraham Lincoln. Already it is there in this, and you can take a Xerox. Write about Abraham Lincoln. Briefly you can write. This is your homework. In our next class, we will read, we will try to understand the next points. Okay, children? Thank you.